Yeah, said I gotta do better. Yeah, that's the motto. A gift and a curse, my foot in the pedal and never let up. I dropped the L, now it's toll road. Dubs coming first like it's walk-em-all, but tell them all, yeah. Can't come in last, no. Coming first, I ain't no slow po. Oh, it's toll. I said, oh, it's toll. I said, oh, it's toll. I dropped the L and it's dubs, I ain't double fold.
I have a few beliefs here about this whole subject of motivation. I believe that there are people who have been placed in situations where motivation is very abundant and easy to come by. And I also believe there's some people where motivation is hard to come by to do certain things. Now, that is because I believe I have a lot of layers to this, my whole understanding of how things work. There is the belief that, for one, this is why I don't take shit seriously. I believe that everything that happens for you happens for a reason. I believe that you're put into this world by yourself, by God. I'll say, by God. You understood way before that these things were going to happen before you came into this lifetime. You placed all these obstacles in front of you to overcome, to experience. And me personally, motivation has been something that I've been trying to tackle and grasp and understand, because I have those times where I'm like super motivated and other times where I'm just like don't feel like doing shit. And I want to know, like, and it's frustrating because it's like, yo, like, if I could feel like this all the time, or at least understand how to get myself there all the time, then things would be fine, right? Like, that's basically what this video is all about. So I believe that you are put in the situations to figure out how to tackle your situation, your lifestyle, your cycle. How do you tackle your obstacles? How do you get yourself ready to tackle the world, fight for what you want in your life? Now, a lot of people do a lot of different things to be motivated, listen to music. Maybe you go splash water on your face, you scream in the mirror or something like that. You talk to certain people because you know that certain people are going to have that mindset already instilled within them that is going to help you lift yourself up and get ready to do what you want to do, or change your way of thinking about something. Now, I believe that is all those things I just listed off, I believe that is because of the idea of vibration, and things are because of the vibration that they are in, with what makes up those things. So you have your own home vibration, the way that you are as a person, the cycle, the difficulties that you perpetually encounter. What vibration are you carrying with you into that situation, and what are you automatically going to do that makes up your mindset? So in other words, you can already have let's say you're at a regular rate, you are a genuinely happy person. You can be, something ticked you off because of something that, let's say somebody just like scratched your car or something like that, and you just can't really notice it. If the way your mindset, the way you deal with certain things, depending on what happened previously before that thing that already set your mind up to be susceptible to a certain emotion, certain vibration, that could make you angry, or it could make you happy, or anywhere in between. Then, depending on how you take those emotions, that when let's say you have something to do later on in the day that you need to be motivated for, and depending on how much resistance you already give yourself on top of what happened throughout your day is going to determine how much motivation you need to do that thing, correct? So that's like basically what we're dealing with when we're trying to motivate ourselves. What happened to us? What can we expect to happen to us? How are we normally acting? How do we normally get ourselves to do things? What are the circumstances that lead up to me getting something done and motivating myself? What is the worst case scenario? What is the best case scenario? What are the things that lead up to each of those scenarios, so that you can then build a plan to understand what it is. Now, some people, like, I feel like motivation is almost like a health bar, but it's a little bit more complicated. It's like an RPG. You got certain status ailments that then, like, you got certain types. Maybe you a type B today. You a water type, and today is a day where you about to get hit with some grass. So that's super effective against you. So your health gonna drop down super low. When if it was something else that was not as effective, I'm talking about Pokemon right now. So if you don't understand Pokemon, I'm sorry. But that's how it works. But there's certain times where there's certain things that trigger you more than the usual, and you have to understand how your brain works, how your mindset works, how you work as an individual to be able to navigate your worldview and to be able to get what you want out of life, be able to motivate yourself to do certain things. That takes understanding. That takes sitting down with yourself and being with yourself, being with your thoughts, being with who you are, being with who you want to be, and understanding that you have a pathway that is built there. It is already there. It's already connected. You are connected to your higher self. You are connected to the best version of yourself. You have to just hold that in your head. Remember that's a belief. You have to make that a belief. Once that is a belief in you, that takes in how to build that as a belief. You have to just understand it. You have to write about it. Like if you're gonna, let's say you're a scientist. This is your hypothesis. If my higher self is connected to my current self right now, how is it connected? And then you learn, you figure that stuff out by over time coming back to that question, that belief, and reinforcing it. And slower over time, it's gonna start to automatically be in your head, and you're gonna understand the process that it takes for you to get yourself to be a certain way. So when you understand that you can build that pathway from yourself now up into your higher self, into the best version of yourself, the version of yourself that is able to motivate you to do whatever you want to do in that moment. So that would look like, maybe you know that in the mornings you don't like to wake up that much, or you might be thinking about your day. What motivates you is listening to some music that's going to have a vibe that vibes with your core beliefs and has a high enough vibe to get you right. It might not even be high, because like, I honestly feel like you can transmute any type of energy that you take from the outside into whatever you want. And really what motivation is just literally just being able to take in whatever input, maybe even make your own input with the thoughts inside your head, and be able to transmute that into the energy that's going to let you do what you need to do. And honestly, that's why you listen to music. Maybe you want to listen to some hood shit like that gets you in your mood, like, yeah, I'm about to get up, make this money. I'm about to you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it doesn't matter what the music is. Maybe it's like screaming, get yourself up. That's what gets your blood pumping. Like, that's gonna get you, that you using that energy that you're outputting into the world to then come right back at you, and then get you pumped up in this world, so you can be ready to do what you want to do. It depends on what you found that works for you. And I feel like the way you find what works for you is by understanding your core beliefs, understanding what your triggers are. Triggers don't always have to be to what makes you upset, what makes you sad or angry or whatever. It's literally what causes the emotions within you to arise. Depending on what those emotions are, is what those triggers are used for. So you can have a switch, meaning a certain tone, certain sounds, certain textures, certain memories, certain thoughts that are going to place you into a certain mindset within a certain amount of energy. And documenting that stuff, and I know it sounds like a lot of work, but literally it's not that hard, because this stuff it's you already. Like we talked about, you are connected to your higher self already. Once you start to gloss over it, and you gloss over your abilities, you keep that in your head, that okay, let me remember to realize to think about what makes me think certain ways and do certain things. It's going to automatically happen. We don't have to. I know I used to always I still do sometimes, like, obsess over the nitty-gritty details. The nitty-gritty details are important, but not all the time, because sometimes you gotta simplify things. I think the best thing for you to do is to simplify everything, in order for you to just move way smoother. There's not so many moving parts in your mindset. That the complexity is for you to understand where things come from. Things come from complexity and turn it into simplicity. That's why I was gonna look at like how everything is turning modern artwork. There used to be so much complexity in the artwork. Now things are just a square on top of a triangle. Now I think it came from complexity into simplicity, because simplicity is way easier. Things just, it's way more intuitive. You have to you learn how to drive by, okay, you press this button, do all this stuff, and then once you get into a car, it's just like you just are, I'm gonna drive. And not like, you're not thinking about, okay, turn signal this, oh, gear 1, gear 2. Like, you're not thinking about any of that stuff when you're already been a seasoned veteran. The goal is to be a seasoned veteran. Your higher self is a seasoned veteran. But if the way you got to that higher self is through the understanding of the nitty gritty, the books, the going through 4 years of college that like a doctor would go to, like, well, they probably go through 8, but you understand the nitty gritty. So once you that stuff starts to be more intuitive, yes, it's going to take a little bit of work for you to understand yourself, understand what makes you who you are, how you act. And that takes some ways that I recommend getting that work, that self work done is through, there's lots of ways. Like for example, what I personally do, I do a lot of writing and I plan a lot. I understand that. Now, before I get to that, I think that the central thing that is going to give you the most motivation, the most direction, is to understand what you are here for. Once you understand what you are here for, you can then place that, throw it into the future. It will always connect you to it, and it's going to pull you towards it, because you're going to solidify that as your sole purpose for living in this world. Once you do that, you can literally connect that to whatever you're doing. Because I feel if you hold the belief that whatever you're doing now connects to the future, to your ideal situation, all it takes is a little bit of focus, which you can cultivate. If you don't have enough focus, is to sit down and remember, yo, why am I here? You need to meditate some more. You need to write so that the complexities of your life can become simplified, so that you have more space in your mind to think about things like, why am I here? That's really all it is. The people who are able to think about those things are people who already have turned the things that are in their life. They've understood. They turn the complexities into simplicities so that they can add more complexities to turn into simplicities. You can't do great things. You can't motivate yourself to do great things until you understand the complexities of your mind and turn it into a simplicity, so that you can then grasp other things and turn those into simplicities and to put them into your machine of life. So I'll say this, like, I was gonna say, like, dang, like that's really what I'm trying to understand. Like, you need to understand yourself, and the way that you do that, like I said, meditation to get yourself to be able to concentrate. And meditation isn't just clear your mind. It could be clearing your mind by just focusing on not having any thoughts, and that's an important thing, because you have to be able to stop your thoughts and be in the moment. But that's not all it is, because then you have to. I feel like it's useful to be able to know how to do multiple types of meditation, whether it's clearing your mind, focusing on one outcome, one word, one intention, and letting that be. Learning how to breathe. Once you learn how to breathe, you can relax and be in the moment so easily. So let's say your intention is to before I even talk about the intention and how breathing and relaxing helps, I want to also say this: walking, running, doing the dishes, playing a sport, those are all forms of meditation, because what it is deciding what an intention is and then going for it, being with that in the moment. So walking could be 1 step, 2 step, getting to your next position, getting to where you want to be. You clear your thoughts, and you can just literally just focus on your steps, focus on your breathing. You're calm in that moment. You're relaxed into the moment. Let's say, now I want to talk about sports, I think, what I was talking about. Your intention, let's say you're a basketball player and you're shooting free throws. Everybody's to the side of you. You in the moment. All right, now I gotta make this 3. The reason why you would need to be able to stop your thoughts is because anxiety is too much thinking. It's not being in the moment, being in who you are. You're going to want to be able to bring the intention of making this shot making the goal and then just being there and just doing it. Think and then do. Nothing else afterwards. That's letting it happen, letting things be. Once you're able to do that, you can just ride the momentum of that thought or whatever that intention is into the completion of it. That's what motivation is. You're riding the vibration of whatever you caught into you and letting it ride. Let it do what it needs to do. Let that energy flow through you, because it's an energy exchange. You're taking the energy and allowing it to, you're transmuting it basically. Now, I'll say it like this. It's not always changing the energy, because like I said, you could take some upbeat energy and become upbeat afterwards. Or you can take some upbeat energy, some high vibe energy, and then become negative afterwards, down afterwards, depending on how your mindset is set up to taking those things. And that all depends on how you set your triggers up to then input that energy into your mind. But that's kind of how I understand how motivation and energy works, and how taking it all in and affecting the way you do things in the future afterwards, you taking those things in. All I wanted to, by making this video, I wanted to allow people to understand that, so that you can then be able to understand it for themselves and put it to work. Because I think that's, people who can't, a lot of times people have $1 million ideas, but not the motivation to be able to figure out what needs to happen, or even they might already know what they need to do, but they can't bring themselves to do it. And that takes the understanding of your mind, understanding how you work, and then being able to understand how something else works. Because you can't understand how something else works if you can't even see out of your own mindset. You're closed-minded. But yeah, that's the video today, guys. Thank you for watching. It's been Toro the Magi. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Please like and subscribe. Do all that stuff in the comment section. Heart of a Bull, Money Matador. We are out.